Good morning, folks. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little while. I've been neglecting this. I just haven't had the time to do videos. So this is going to be there's a lot to go through. It's pickups from the last week or so. There's a variety of stuff. There's Amazon, there's CEX, there's an independent store, there's good old crack converters in here somewhere. No, there isn't actually. I traded that one back in. I bought Borderlands 4 from cash converters, and I did not get on. Those games grip you normally, like Borderlands 2, if you've ever played it, it grips you from the beginning. You're in. You've got a great enemy, you've got a great story to follow, and then it's just fantastic. Borderlands 4 is just like, yeah, Vault Hunter, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, walk around there slowly with a pistol. So I just couldn't get into it. I got rid of it. I moved on with my life. Um, but I'll show you. I'm trying to remember the order because I've got them all spread out across my desk here. There's a lot. But firstly, I think we'll go with the Amazon pickup, which is Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I'm currently playing this on stream on Twitch at the moment. The only complaint I've got, and I couldn't really be bothered to do anything about it, was that corner there is a bit dinged, but you probably can't see it very well. But the way I look at it, I can just display it that way around if I have to, and it'll be fine. The game is else. The case is on next to my PlayStation at the moment because, as I say, I'm currently playing it. But I'll just show you the. There's the steelbook with nothing in it, but it's there. We've got codes, which I don't think I've used that yet because. Hang on. Make sure I don't actually. Yes, I haven't actually bothered using that yet. And then there's like some art cards in there. That's pretty cool. And then we've also got a badge and the key ring of the unit. If you know, you know. So yeah, really happy with that. That was £48 and some pence, and I had 30. I want to say it was £36 worth of vouchers. So that was pretty good. So I picked that up on the Saturday morning from an Amazon locker. I had it delivered to a locker near me at the Morrisons. I went and picked it up and then went off down to my parents for the weekend. And while I was there, I stopped at a little shop called Geeky Blinders. I'll put a link in the description. They're on Facebook, they're on TikTok, and all that stuff, I think. So you'll be able to find them, but I'll put their details in the description. You check them out. If you're ever down on the south coast of the UK, just go in there. Well, check on their Facebook page because he has his opening times on there just to make sure you don't rock up on a day when he's closed. But go in there. They'll have a chat. You know, they're always happy to chat to people, talk about games you're after. If you haven't got something, there's a good chance he might be able to find it for you. So sorry, I need a haircut. First world problems, I know, with this little hair. But anyway, I picked up a few bits in there, and he did me a fantastic deal on these. So shout out against Geeky Blinders for that. But firstly, we've got, and the cases could probably do with tidying up at some point, but I'm not too bothered. Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2. These are games I played on the PS2 many moons ago. I mean, when did this come out? This came out in 2003, 2004, early 2000s, basically. I have played both of these. I enjoyed them. Having gone back to it briefly at one point, I want to say, is it called the Blitzball? Didn't enjoy that as much, but the rest of the game, great. I liked it. I don't know, maybe it was because it was the first time it was a Final Fantasy game with voice acting in it, but I really, really enjoyed that. And then he also had on the PlayStation 3 Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition, and of course, got the right disc. He had two other Essentials games in there. One didn't have the right disc in. That was, I want to say it was Uncharted 2 and Saints Row the third, the full package. I'm hoping it was that one. I've already got. So, yeah, great deal on those. Fantastic price for the three games. Couldn't turn it down. Didn't do any other game hunting over the weekend because we just didn't really go anywhere. But on the way home, I thought, oh, I'm going to pop into my local. I've got time to kill. And I found firstly, and why I picked this up, the only reason for it is it's cardboard. I wouldn't have picked it up for any other reason, because I don't really collect Wii games. I mean, I've got Monster Hunter 3, which is Japanese, and I've got Wii Music. And that's it on the actual Wii. They're the only physical games I have. But it's the Conduit. The Conduit, I don't know anything about it. It looks... Well, it's a shooter of some sort, alien conspiracies and all that sort of stuff, but it's cardboard. It's really neat. I think this is in really good condition as well. And it comes with a special edition hints and tips guide. So if I ever get round to playing it, and I'm assuming it will play on my Wii U, I don't know, I would assume so, but I don't have a normal controller yet. I'm waiting to get one of the, I need to get one of the, like, the Pro style controllers, but there's one that's quite cheap in CEX, but I'd have to travel like an hour to get it, and I don't really want to travel an hour for a £12 controller, because it's probably going to cost me more than that in frigging petrol to drive there and back. So I'm going to wait until I've got a bit of spare cash. I can go over there and hopefully pick up some other things as well. There's another CEX around the corner from that. Well, a little bit down the road from that one. But we'll see. I'll figure it out on my travels. My local, so that was in my local, obviously, like I say, and they also had this Earth Defense Force 4.1, The Shadow of New Despair. Don't know much about these games. Shooting aliens again, I'm assuming, but it's another one for the PlayStation Hits collection. I am getting very, very close to finishing that. I've got, before including these two I've got here, I think I was at about 10 left, but I'll do a proper recount at some point. And they also had Tales of Berseria, which, again, JRPG type thing, isn't it? But it's another one for the Hits collection. So yeah, really happy to add those two. What's next? Let's go with CEX. I went to one day after work last week. They had an Essentials game, and it didn't have the right disc. I think it was God of War 3. Which is one, for some reason, I didn't realise I didn't have in the collection. I've got God of War 3 Remastered on the Hits, but I didn't have it in the PS3 Essentials, which was like one of those kind of glaring omission type things. Excuse me. So, I saw this up on the shelf, and it's not quite what I was after, because it doesn't have the sleeve cover. It's Deus Ex, is that Mankind Divided on the PS4. I want the sleeve cover at some point, so I'm hoping if I find it, I can do the old, oh, I've already got it, and I can return this one, or I'll just move it on. It's only £3. If they've got it, and it's the same price, I'll just buy it and move on with my life. £3 for a steelbook, which is in, I would say, pretty damn good condition. I think there was a little scratch on it somewhere. There's a couple on the top there, if you can see them, but nothing worth getting too stressed about. I had, so what else did I have? I had a voucher, and oh, that was it. I went to a charity shop after work last Friday, Thursday, Friday, might have been Friday, and they had two Blu-ray box sets. They had Breaking Bad, the complete set, and seasons 1 and 2 of Game of Thrones. I've seen all of Breaking Bad. Not interested in Game of Thrones. Just telling you. £6 spend, £25 voucher. So I went to the CEX, it was basically next door, and was like, trade these in. And they gave me the £25. There was an Essentials title again, didn't have the right disc. Damn it. So had to leave that one behind. But I did pick this up. Monster Hunter Wilds with the lenticular sleeve. I would, if I'm honest, rather have the steelbook. But I still like this. I love a lenticular sleeve. I think they're fantastic. I did have the one for Monster Hunter World on the Xbox originally, but I ended up getting the steelbook and giving it away. However, there's the Iceborne steelbook, so I want to get that at some point as well. But yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds. Haven't actually played all of Monster Hunter World yet. I don't suspect it's too critical to playing this, but I will get around to it. He says, commander of the backlogs. What else have we got? We've got, I think I got all of these from a CEX. There we go. it's Sunday today, so this would have been yesterday. I went to CEX after work, and I'm very glad I did, and we'll get to that in a second. But firstly, I trade. Did I trade stuff in there, or I still had a voucher left? I either traded stuff in or I had a voucher left. I can't remember now. I'd say I've slept since then, but I haven't. So we picked up the last Templar on the Xbox 360. I know I keep saying I don't really collect a lot of 360, but cardboard sleeve. If it's a steelbook or a sleeve cover or an incredibly rare title, and it's reasonably priced, I'll get it. I mean, I think £12 a lot for that, and it doesn't look stellar. It's probably not the best game anyone's ever played, but I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll get around to playing it. Who knows? But yeah, £12 for that. Then we picked up. Let's go with this one, Minecraft for the Wii U, because I really hope I don't have that already. I think it's one I've kept avoiding for some reason for a while. That's £10. Doesn't have any sort of manual, but the disc's in there. It's all good, and it's another one off the Wii U list. That is going to take a lot longer to do because I think it's somewhere over 100 games, and also some of them are like 200 odd pounds, maybe more. So got to bear that in mind as well. I'm not willing to drop £180 on like the Shmup collection. I'm sure I'll get it at some point, but right now at least, not willing to drop that much money on that. And then we've got Yakuza 6 on the PlayStation Hits. So I've got, I think, well, you'll see in a minute, but this is the first Yakuza Hits game I have. There's, I believe, 4 in total. There's this, Kiwami 2, and I think Yakuza 0. So I've either got 2 or 3 of them at this point, but we'll get to that in a moment. So that's that. And then when I was paying for my stuff, I had a voucher and I had to pay about £3 of my own money. Someone came in to the till next to me, started piling all this stuff up on the counter to trade in, and they were selling it for cash as well. As I found out afterwards. And then this appeared on top of the pile, and I went, sorry to be cheeky, but would you let me buy that? And they looked on the app and went, and he trades in for £1. And then the person behind the till was like, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but go outside and do business. So I was like, I was just asking, but fair enough. We'll go outside. He came outside and he looked and he went, have it. I shook his hand, said thank you very much. Told him I'm a fairly avid collector. I like steelbooks, I like special editions, I like sleeve covers and all that stuff. And this has got both of those. And he just let me have it. So I know that person probably won't ever see this video, but thank you again. I really appreciate it. It was very kind. I tried to offer to give him some money. I even said, look, they trade it in for that game, because they only trade it in as a standard edition. It trades in for £1.50. I'll give you a couple of quid. I'll just give me some details. I'll transfer some money over. I didn't have any cash on me. And he went, no, just take it. Shook my hand again, said, well, all the best. Enjoy your collecting. And we went our separate ways. And that is Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. Looks like a sort of I don't know. Well, it says Enter the Arena Legends Await, so I'm assuming it's some description of brawler, but the steelbook is stunning. The guy said that I think he had played it for maybe a couple of hours. Sorry, there's a code there. I'm just going to hide that. Yeah, it is absolutely mint, and I might try it out at some point. Again, if it's something that anyone would like to see, let me know, and I can maybe record some footage of it. I mean, if it's anything on like modern consoles, obviously the PS3 is hard to capture footage off because you have to use a splitter cable and it's a whole thing. But that is a fantastic addition to my collection. That, I would say, and it's a risky word to use, but I would say that's mint. Don't know how much they're actually worth. Terrified of finding out. But hey ho. Anyway, then we went to. So where did I get this one from? I've lost track now, so I'm just going to roll with it. I also went to yet another CEX, and they had this. So this is Yakuza Kiwami 2. So this is obviously the remake of the second original Yakuza game. I've played all of these before. I need to get back to Pirate Yakuza. I did start that, and then I just sort of stopped and didn't really get. It's concerning for me to say that I didn't get hooked on a Yakuza game, but hey ho. It's another one off the hits collection. That list is getting shorter. I know there's a few that are going to be hard to find. I'm going to have to try and track them down somewhere, but we'll get to that. And then today, as I'm recording this, I've thinned out a lot of my Blu-ray collection. There's just stuff that I look at it and I go, it's just taking up space. If I can just get normal size films and steelbooks and stuff, that's great. Slipcovers, steelbooks, normal size movies, fine. But like I had the Inception briefcase one, and it's quite wide, and it takes up the equivalent of like 10 or 12 spaces for a film. So I had to put it in sideways. It still takes up 5 spaces then. So I partied with a lot of it, and all bar one of them, based on trade value, I made profit. So I ended up with a pretty sizable voucher. I took it up to the joyous land of Merry Hill, if you know, you know. And I spent the voucher. I thought I'll just buy one thing, or maybe I'll buy a new console and start a new subset. I could have bought a discounted GameCube for £70, but I don't think they have many GameCube games there, or at least not ones that I wanted. I would have wanted to get like 3 or 4 games to get me started, but I didn't. I decided against it because I saw a couple of things on the shelves, and I was like, no, I'm having those instead. So we'll start with Flashback 2 Limited Edition. I know diddly squat about the Flashback games, but that is really nice. And surprised to see this. Everything I've got was on the shelf. I didn't have to ask for anything. Oh no, I had to ask for one thing from behind the counter, which did surprise me a little bit. But we'll get to that. But yeah, all of this was on the shelf. 20 quid for that. I don't know if it's any good, but that is a stunning slipcover. Really nice steelbook. Really happy with that. Again, same story. This was on the shelf, the Precinct on the Xbox Series X. Again, I don't know anything about it. I will have to check it out at some point, but I think that looks amazing. Even still got the. You can tell this was probably from a collector, someone who actually just. Well, I don't know actually. Was it a collector or was it just someone who plays their games? Because that's obviously the factory seal on there. But that steelbook is really nice. I like that a lot. I'm glad I found that, and I'm glad I bit the bullet and picked it up. I have got some other stuff, but unfortunately I forgot to film it all and I put it all away. So maybe at some point I'll do an updated collection thing because some stuff has gone, new stuff has come in its place. So yeah. Then we'll move on there. The PS3 section, I did very well. I saw 3 essentials that I didn't have. And they've all got the right discs. So we've got Assassin's Creed 2. We've got... we've seen that now. Star Wars Force Unleashed 2. I have the Ultimate Sith Edition, which I got from Vintage Gamer. Again, I'll put a link to them in the description. Check them out. The manual in the right way around. Essentials disc. I'm happy with that. And then finally, Assassin's Creed Revelations, which I couldn't remember if I had or not, and thankfully I don't. But again, got the right disc. 3 for 3 on the Essentials. I went to 3 separate CEXs, including the one I was at down near my parents last week. They had God of War in the Essentials box, didn't have the disc. Came to the one near my house. God of War Essentials box, didn't have the disc. Went to a different one, same story. And then I get 3 in one shop. What are the odds? Let's go with... We'll go with this next. This is actually the last thing I picked up today in Merry Hill. It was behind the counter. This was behind the counter. And I said, oh, can I have that? He opened it up and went, oh, the box is on the shelf. Do you mind going to grab it? Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't work here, but fine. And then there it is. Murdered Soul Suspects. Unfortunately, I'd sort of said, oh yeah, I'll have it. And he put it all together and then I saw the rip along the box. But to be honest, it's going to be displayed side on anyway. So I'm not that bothered. Honestly, I'm not that bothered. It was £4. if I find another one at some point for £4, I'll buy that. I might consider doing the same with this. Just go, oh, someone got it for me. I didn't realise it had they didn't see the damage on it, and just take it back. But I'm not that bothered. The game's fine. It's got the art book type thing in there as well. That's in there as well, and the game was fine. The case was fine. So it's just that I can live with that. I saw a version of this. I think it was the Xbox version in a cash generator, and they wanted something like £20 for it. I'm not paying £20 for this. It's a decent game, but it's not a £20 game. So there's that. That's happy to go in the collection. And then I'm going to get to what I'm going to sarcastically call the heavy hitters last. So we're nearly at the end. Thank you for bearing with me. I've wanted this for a while, and it's funny, I was in my local this morning, so I had to pick something up for someone on the Ghetto Gang Discord, Retro Ghetto's Discord, if you know it. Someone said, oh, can you look in that store, if anyone's going to that store? And I was like, look, it's like a 5-minute drive from my house. I'm going to go in there, I'll have a look. I went in, took some pictures, sent it to the person. They said, yeah, could you grab that? And so I sorted that. That's downstairs. I've got to post that to them at some point. But I kept saying to myself, there's a game I really want, and every CEX I've been in lately, I've never found it. Merry Hill had 2 copies. One was a reprinted cover, the other one had a broken case. I picked up the one with the broken case, and I very cheekily said, have you got a spare, or have you got a game I can buy for like £1? And I'll just swap the cases out. And they went, oh, we've got a spare out the back, I'm sure. So it came out, brought another game out, and there it is. Silent Hill 2, the remake. I would like the Steelbook again, but I'm going to get this, I'm going to play it, and I'll probably end up moving it on afterwards, but I haven't actually properly played the original, interestingly. But I think I'm just going to play this one, move on with my life. It's just a game I want to get crossed off the list, so I can probably do that this year, for sure. I know it won't take me long, but I've got other games on the backlog, and at some point, dare I say it, I've got to try and tackle Bloodborne. Because I promised I would. I'm an idiot, I know. But yeah, really happy to get that. That was £32, I want to say. Can't remember those. Obviously, you've seen the Essentials games, they were like a couple of quid each. That was about £32. They had Silent Hill F as well, which I was thinking about getting, but I don't know anything about it yet. But I'll play Silent Hill 2. I might get F at some point. Maybe it'll be a bit cheaper by then. And then I can also get the new one, Townfall. Maybe I'll get that at some point. But I've also been playing through the Resident Evil games. I just finished the HD remake on stream recently, so that's that done. But now we're going to get to the true heavy hitters. 3 games in total, £6. You're never going to guess. Just Dance 2014. Oh, that was 2015. I'm an idiot. That's 2014. And that's... Yeah, no, I've got these all confused, haven't I? Andy, you idiot. Because they've labelled them all up wrong. Anyway, the point is, I've got Just Dance 2014, 2015, and 2016. Another 3 for the Wii U set. So there's what, 4 Wii U games in there? I mean, that's now one shelf basically full. So I'm almost halfway there on the Wii U stuff already. It's going to be a slow burner for the remainder of that, but yeah. Really nice couple of stacks of pickups, because I'm not going to try and pick them all up at once. There's one lot. And there's the other lot. So yeah, really, really happy with those. Some nice additions to the collection. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any of these. Do you collect any of these subsets? The hits, the essentials, Wii U, Steelbooks, anything. Let me know. And let me know if there's anything you'd like to see any footage of. Any of those that I can take footage of, I will do. And I can try and put like a 10-20 minute playthrough of, well, not a full playthrough obviously, but I'll put like a short video up of some of the gameplay of it, and you can see it from my perspective. But yeah, thank you for watching. As always, there'll be a thing probably there to subscribe, and there might be a video down there, or vice versa. It'll be wherever I decide to put it when I upload the video. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, wherever you may be. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.